took us 4 beers to get this transmission out. All right, guys, as you can see, we got the transmission out of Papa T's car. We got Papa T in the house again tonight. So some of y'all are gonna be like, you know what? Your dad's probably never gonna let you drive anything else of his. Well, that's where you'd be wrong, because see, we're a little different. Our family is just probably a little different than what you're used to. Now, we don't go around just breaking stuff, and it's just okay to do that. That's not what I'm saying, but if I didn't break it, he would have broke it. Because I can promise you, he's probably, or he used to be, he's probably settled down a little bit, but he's usually more harsh than I am on these things. He don't cut him no slack. But anyway, listen, the point of this video is obviously we broke a T5, and I've been raving about T5s forever, talking about they're one of the better transmissions and how much I love them. Well, what's my opinion now? Has that changed? No. Look, if you handle these transmissions correctly, you're not going to have any issues. These things will be fine. We beat on it, good God, all day long. Yeah. But what we did was we lifted whenever we shifted, right? And you pretty much you can give these cars hell as long as you're doing that. Well, we got home. You'll see in the video, we were super happy, talking about how good the car was running. I mean, honestly, we were really, really happy the way this car ran and performed. And Andrew was on his way over, so Andrew finally gets here, and Papa T's like, "You gonna take him down the road or not?" And I kind of thought for a second. I said, "Nah, you know what? We probably don't need to, but screw it. Hell yeah, let's go." And Andrew's ready. You know, he's like, "Yeah, I want to go." So we take the car down the road. I hit it the first time. I lifted as I shifted, you know, and the car did great. Andrew was impressed with it. You know, these tires were hooking. Everything was doing good. And we turned around. On the way back, I wanted to hit it one more time. And I did something that I've not done in years with a T5, and that is no lift shift. I don't call it we call it power shifting, but a lot of you guys won't know what that is. So I no lift shifted the car. Well, I hit second gear, and boy, did it feel good. I mean, the car, it felt like an automatic. I mean, the car just jumped. It was the craziest thing, because before that, this car would fall on its face kind of in between every gear. But it would either spin the tires, or when you hit third, it would fall on its face. Well, it's not doing that anymore with these tires. So I hit second gear, and it just jumped out, and it felt so good, I had to go for third. No lift shifted third, and immediately as soon as I hit third, it just pie-out and clanked and rattled and puked, and yeah, it was bad. Me and Andrew looked at each other and knew it was over. But we managed to get it home one way or the other. So we got this thing home clunking and rattling. We get up into the yard, and it pretty much locks up. I had to kind of rock it back and forth to get it to take off. So we broke third gear or something, and it's in there. Some teeth are rolling around or something. So anyway, so that's the story as to how we broke it. It had nothing to do with the tires. Now, I guess in a way it did, because the car had been running so good. We were out there just beating the shit out of this thing, going through the gears. So that's probably what made the transmission break, was the fact that we just kept beating on it. But what I want to say is this. I want to remind you all to don't over clutch your transmission, especially with a T5. And what do I mean by don't over clutch? Because I say that a lot, and I just assume you guys know what I'm talking about. Don't put too aggressive of a clutch behind a T5. You don't want a clutch that has no give, that just grabs and snatches, because you can break something, absolutely. Most of these clutches are going to have a little bit of slip. And if you don't believe me, if you don't think your clutch has a little bit of slip or a little bit of cushion, get behind a puck clutch setup. Those things will snatch a knot in your ass when you take off. They don't slip, and that's the difference. You can feel it. So like a King Cobra clutch is actually a pretty aggressive clutch, believe it or not, but there's enough cushion in there to where you can kind of save that transmission. Now that's on the launch. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, I don't care what clutch you got, unless it's just slipping. If you try no lift shifting and you don't hit it just right, or even if you do, there's a good chance you're going to bust third gear. Typically it's third that you do that in. You can do it in fourth, these higher gears. So anyway, look guys, my thoughts have not changed about a T5. I absolutely love it. Speaking of which, we're sending this T5 off to get rebuilt. I'm not even going to pull it apart. I called the guy that I got it from. And he said, yeah, he said, send it on and we'll get it rebuilt. Simple enough job. It's not going to cost us a lot of money to do it. Like I said, that is a Z-Spec. Now, ever since we got this transmission, it had a little bit of a whine to it, and my dad noticed it as well. Andrew's commented on it. You guys have heard it. And I don't know that maybe something wasn't quite right to start with it. I'm not sure, but it broke just like all the rest of them did. So, you know, seriously though, please don't think that because this happened to me and because you hear other people busting T5s, don't think that they're not good transmissions. They really are. They have their place though. You obviously don't want to be out there with a 600-700 horsepower car trying to launch it with a T5. It's not really what these things are built for. But you would be surprised with about a 350 wheel horsepower car, if you're smart with it, man, these things will last and nothing is going to shift better and smoother than a T5. So I still stand behind them guys. I love them. But hey, shit happens, and it happened to us. It's all right. You can't worry about things like this. As a car guy, what's one of your biggest fears? Engine knocking or transmission problems. That right there will just send your heart through the floorboard, right? We all know it. We've all been there. I want to say something to you guys. It's going to happen at some point. You're going to lose the engine. You're going to lose the transmission. It's all in how you deal with that. You can't come home and cry about it and cuss everybody out and kick your dog. You can't do that, right? Don't go to bed mad about it. It is what it is. Hopefully, that's not your everyday car and your way back and forth to work. Now, if that's the case, you're probably gonna be a little more upset. I've had that happen. I used to be that guy, right? I was hot rodding my daily driver and my work car and everything else. But hopefully, you know, it's not your everyday car that this happens to. But guys, don't get so upset and worried and want to throw in the towel and, oh, I hate Mustangs, especially Fox bodies. I want to get out of this. Stick with it, because you never want to leave something unfinished. You don't want unfinished business. So if your car breaks, your motor breaks, your transmission breaks, stick it out. I don't care if it takes you 6 months. At least fix it. It'll make you feel a lot better. Anyway. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing drained, put it in our box over there. Luckily we got this box because it's gonna come in handy now with this transmission. But we're gonna get this thing all packaged up, get Papa T's car pushed up into the garage. All right, before we wrap this video up, I wanted to share this with you guys. So we were draining the transmission so that we could box it up and send it off, and we noticed a few things kind of clanking and falling around in there. So let me show you what we found. So as you can see, that looks to be third gear, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the clip for the speedometer. But check that out. I mean, it disintegrated this thing. So we got everything drained out, guys, and we're going to go ahead and send this transmission off. I tell you what, let's see if it rolls now. Let's see, it's still locking up. Anyway, it happens, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. We'll catch you guys in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.